What it do, baby? Welcome to Vegeta Saiyan Army. Thank you guys for liking, watching, and subscribing. Over here to my right, to your left is gonna be Alex, and down there is gonna be fucking Chris, the OGs of Vegeta Saiyan Army. Say hello to everybody real quick. Yeah, I got you with the monkey noises. So today we're talking about the ban list coming up. It's just exciting talking about the ban list. Whether you think something should get banned or not, I want to hear what you guys think, because I truly want to see what the community thinks. Because sometimes you hear shit on the main group. Sometimes it's a new guy or someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. I want to see what you're thinking. Okay? So we're going to talk about cards that we think should get banned or brought back or errata, or some things that maybe we don't disagree on, but we've heard you guys talk about. Okay? So here, let's take everybody to these cards. And of course, if you want some of these leaders or cards printed as a metal form, please go to Davidson TCG. I gotta plug the OGs as usual. Just waiting for that VSA logo, fucking Davidson TCG. Okay, so the first thing here that I want to talk about is we were talking about the Piccolo leader. Okay, because remember, some shit might get brought back. I don't think that we should bring back this Piccolo leader just because, like, I mean, it wasn't bad, it was just errata. Do you guys have any thoughts on this one here? Chris and Alex?
This was mostly Chris. I never played through Search format, really. This was errata by the time I started playing. From what I understand with the errata, this card is dog awful now. So, maybe take away the errata, give it a chance to come back, see if it really is as impressive as I've heard that it was in the past.
Yeah.
If it...
One thing that they do in YuGiOh, something that I don't know, really haven't heard much in general, is that sometimes they just bring back cards to kind of test the waters and see if they can exist in the meta.
Yeah, put a gun to its head and just be like, I dare you to be good, bitch, you'll get put right back in the... Okay, so...
Yeah. Kind of like that, yeah.
Alright, that makes sense, Chris. Alright, so... Yeah, so first card in the... We're not talking about fucking rotation in this video, god damn it. Alright, so first card on this list... Yeah, I'm kidding. Alright, what do we have here? We have Lord Slug. This is a good... I think this is a good discussion card to talk about. I think that, as everybody knows, Lord Slug is 3-drop yellow, and you can play it for 1 if you have a Slug on board, and basically it makes it so, like, your opponent can't add cards from their deck to their hand with a non-leader effect, and it has barrier 20k, right? So I know, Alex, for example, like, you do have some strong opinions that I can see where you're coming from, and tell everybody what you think about this card.
I don't like cards that are floodgates that can be played for, say, like 1 energy that do significant damage to decks. Like Super Namekian telling your opponent you can't draw in a game that draws typically 4 to, cards-ish a turn. Telling your opponent, yeah, you can't draw except with your leader is pretty damn good. And it comes down for 1 on turn 2. I mean, it's really disgusting. I personally feel that this card should be errated to just be Slug's army or yellow Namekian leaders. Don't ban the card. Don't limit it to 1. Just let it exist in those decks. I feel that
what decks
super
was
strong
it?
Cards can,
what type?
Slug's army or yellow Namekian.
Cool.
I feel that insane cards can be leader locked and they can be fine. Look at Galactic Buster and Bojack Brigade. It's a fine card in that deck. I think Super Namekian being in Slug's army or yellow Namekian decks is fine, but just do something with it.
Okay, so we're calling we're calling an errata for leader lock, which I like. I think that the coolest thing in this game is when we have an insanely powerful card and it's locked to a leader, so it makes people want to play that card. Yeah,
100%.
So I remember off the top of my head is I'm thinking about playing Kaba just because of the U6 negate, right? Because it's like a fucking it's like a violent raise and a dormant on crack, right?
Sister's Determination, I think
sure.
is the one you're talking about.
And I love that card, and it's just a quick example, and I love it when you can do that with a deck, and it makes you want to play the deck. I think it's okay at the moment, but I'm also really liberal with bans, so I 100% see where you're coming from. I think that errata will be fine. I think that one thing this card stops is effects that draw as a cost to play things, right? And a lot of answers to this card need to draw in order to get played, especially in red, which is funny. But I think it's fine, because the reason I think it's okay is because, like, the best deck for this card sometimes is like the yellow Piccolo, because he can play a simulated ability in this card. And if those two cards, with both have barrier, by the way, stay on board for like a turn and a half, you've won the game just from like how much resources you're outdoing your opponent. And I'm seeing that just not do much. I guess the game has maybe gotten too powerful. I don't know, but I see where you're coming from. Any thoughts here, Chris?
My favorite highlight with this card is when I went to Miami Fest and I played against Yellow Baby Round 1 with Set 7 Zamasu, which would be an automatic loss because Blue cannot handle that aggro. And then I just went Lord Slug turn 2 and he could not play the game.
You were playing Yellow Baby?
No, yeah, I played against Yellow Baby as Set 7 Zamasu.
Oh, of course.
And because, and I put a Slug engine in a mono blue leader just because I had the yellow energy. And then he couldn't play.
What you mean,
He tried swinging at it, out combo it, he couldn't draw. His searches didn't work, his super combos didn't work, his evolves, and he couldn't play the game, and I won a matchup that I shouldn't have won.
I think that you just convinced me on why he shouldn't be banned. I think that the great decks aren't getting that much better by Slug, and I could be 100% wrong. If you disagree, I'm with you. But the shitty decks, if you put this card in it, get so much better, and it gives, I think, the worst decks maybe a little better chance to punch up, right? To the worst
and
decks.
that's why Alex's idea on eroding it to two specific traits really brings the balance
like
in
that
card.
compromise. Yes, I agree. I think that what you just said is eroding into two traits, which was what Alex said too. I like that compromise. I wouldn't be mad if they did that, I think. So okay, let's go to the next card here. The next card here, Son Goku, Absolute Annihilation. I can see that this card as well. It does cost 3 though. Like, I mean, yellow's doing so much for so cheap. Slapping this against blue is kind of like heartbreak shit. How much removal does blue have ignoring barrier that we give a shit? Like, there's Kale, right?
Not really a
Kale,
lot.
And
Unstoppable, and Bear of Hope.
And then you said, okay, right. So, if this goes away, I wouldn't be mad. But who's the person that put this on the list out of you two? Who wants to
Alex, you can take it away.
All right, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, this one was mostly me because I saw a lot of people talking about this card when I would ask about Slug on the group chat. They would say, okay, what about Annihilation? And I mean, I get it. Annihilation is disgusting. If you're late game in yellow, you can drop this card when your opponent tried to push for game the previous turn. They failed and they left, say, one. Okay, so good example is my buddy Matt, who was playing U7 Goku. He got late game. He left one energy up. I played Absolute Annihilation. He had in his hand Violent Rays. He had in his hand the Realm of the Gods Ultra Instinct.
Okay.
And like one other extra card. Now and an Afterimage technique. Now he can't use any of those. Well, he can't use the first two. And for Afterimage, if he wants to Sparking, he has to tap his last energy. Yeah. This card late game will just, and it has Deflect. Well, by the way, this card has Deflect and Barrier, so you can't Videl it. You can't hit it with anything. Like this card's, like, it's stupid. In my opinion, this card will just seal games late game for no reason.
I think go ahead.
No, and that's why I think it should, in some way, be hit. I mean, people normally only play this at like 1, maybe 2 just to see it, but late game you're gonna see it in yellow. Yellow draws so much. But Absolute Annihilation, telling your opponent all your extra cards cost 1 extra. So even if you want to, even if you're tapped out and you want to Sparking, you can. And that's something I don't think should be allowed.
Man, yellow just has so many, like, slap this card down and like your opponent just has to deal with it because this thing has barrier, right? So okay, fuck yeah, it's hard to. You know what's the thing about this card too? It's not like exciting to play. Like, I can see a world where, like, you can do cheeky shit with Slug. Like, you play the 1-drop, you draw a card, you play the Slug, you know, you swing with it first, you know, because you don't want to swing with leader first, right? So, you know, there's a lot of thinking, I think, with Slug. Not a lot, but, you know, there's a couple things. Like, if you've never played Slug and you tried it, you can fuck it up a little bit, right? But, I mean, you can get the 1-drop destroyed. You know, it's a bit of work. It's a couple steps, you know. But I think Son Goku, you just fucking slap it and play it. And you know what? It's not even like, it doesn't even have to be in rest mode or in active mode. I can see that it's a bit of a lazy card. A little bit overtuned. I won't complain. Again, with Slug, I don't think it should be banned. I think Errata I'm okay with. With this card, I can see it being banned and I won't be upset. Again, not a card that I think should be upset or banned or something I need to get. But I like your point a lot, especially like how easy it is to play and how like it feels like it. You know what? This feels like an overtuned Z card that should come out this set. This feels like insane, but I'm kidding. Imagine if this is a Z card. That was a joke, but I'm so sorry. No, this can't be a Z card. If this was a Z card, it'd be even more broke.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, don't have to draw into it.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything on this card, Alex? Chris? Whatever.
100% everything Alex said. I saw him play this card against some people, and I'm like, wow, they really just lost.
Yeah, especially against blue. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're not like blue doesn't care once it gets to like turn 7 because they'll tap 2 for a D-Magic because they're degenerate. But like, if you're gonna have like a turn 5 finisher, like if you're gonna play that 5-drop Frieza, like if you have a plan for turn 5, this card gets like specially retarded. So here, let's go to the next card. All right.
Reveal the next
so
two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So all right. So what the fuck, guys? Yeah, you guys. Wanted to talk about Blue Vegeta Future on the line and Trunks Future on the line, which are the Trunks Vegeta 3-drops.
So there's a lot of. I don't see a lot of it online, but I see a lot of it in the VSA group chat that we have on Messenger. Yeah. I don't think particularly that the Trunks should get hit. I think the Trunks should stay. The deck should be able to play defensively.
Really?
I don't like that the Vegeta can out anything it wants to if it's in rest mode. It has no energy restriction, just on swing.
It costs 1
I want if it's in rest mode. It costs 1 and draws me 2 even if it gets counterplayed. No.
Yeah. I mean that is a cost. So like again, if you have Slug on play, you can't even play these. But go ahead, yeah.
Oh well, yeah, that's true. Slug does kill the deck, I guess, sure, but I want to say probably, and what another person brought up actually today when we were talking about this deck, is that the leader should not draw for you just activating EX Evolve.
As a cost, yeah.
The leader should draw when you play the card with EX Evolve. Because even if the card gets counterplayed, like let's say I am going to play Future on the Line Vegeta. Let's say, I don't know, my opponent Denial of Hopes me. Whatever. Let's just say they hit me with that. Now my opponent's negged a card out of hand, negged energy, and I've drawn 2 cards. That's insanity, in my opinion. That's too much value to just be getting just for paying 1 energy.
Especially when you're not
I get it that this deck, like you said, you did say it, I do recall this deck just keels over and dies to Super Namekian. Super Namekian is on your opponent's board, and you don't already have a Vegeta on the board, you're dead. If you're Trunks Vegeta. I bullied one of my friends with this card. With Super Namekian into Trunks Vegeta. He literally could not play the game. But I just feel, I don't think either of these two should get hit particularly. We just don't have a second leader slot on Deck Planet. So I feel that the leader should not draw on activation of EX Evolve, but when it's played using EX Evolve.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you mean. That I think will be fair. I don't think this leader's much of a problem. Like it's weird because like there'll be tournaments where this leader will be like 3 top cut slots, and then there's some tournaments where it's like no show, right?
It's nowhere.
Yeah, and I think that's more talking about the health of the game right now, not so much the power of this specific deck. But like also different areas play differently. Like Florida plays very aggressive, and you know that up north there's a lot of control players that love that shit. So there's also that. But I don't know. Like I think that like when I played Trunks Vegeta, I always felt like the deck balanced itself because of how, I don't want to say inconsistent, but there were turns that you could really break if you don't have a 1-drop in hand, or if you don't have one in the drop or anything, and if you don't have an X Evolve, and it just feels really bad. There's times where sometimes you play a lot of yellow staples, and you have a lot of good hands in the cards in your hand, but not a lot of things to play in your turn. And that sounds like such a weird thing to say, but I truly felt that sometimes.
No,
I'm like, shit.
I get that.
I 100%.
Yeah, and the deck can lose to itself. And Vegeta, to me, see, when you put these cards in here, I thought you were gonna for sure talk about Trunks, really, but for me, Vegeta was like the worst one for me because I remember, I play like 2 or 1 Careful Super Combo, which I love just to remove shit, but this guy, bro, when I was playing it against green, it would always get blown up. So he's actually the bait for me. He's actually the guy that brings out Charismatic for me. He's actually the one that like gets to get rested for Poutine or whatever, because he always got negged. He always got blown up. And for me, I think I would talk about Trunks next set, because this deck now has Poutine, and it has Trunks, and it has the 3-drop Z card. So now if you so if you have Poutine and Trunks on board, the first thing getting played is gonna rest itself, and Poutine is gonna rest another thing, right, on your opponent's board. And you're not gonna trigger Goku because you're not an idiot. So the second thing that they play is getting rested by the Z Energy 3-drop yellow Goku coming out, the Super Saiyan Blue one. So to me, it's just getting to the point where, like, okay, you used to be able to like play your SSB Vegeta feature on the line to bait the Poutine and the Trunks, and then the second thing is fine. But now against Trunks, it's like, okay, if they set up their board, like, your first two things are not fine, which sucks. So I'd like to say that about Trunks. And again, I think this deck kind of checks itself as far as RNG and consistency goes, but its ceiling is really high. So if you have arguments against this deck, I get it. I think it's fine, but for me, it's the Trunks that I can see in the future the future. I can see this card becoming a problem later, but I think it's fine for now. But yeah, good points on the Vegeta. It does remove anything in barrier on swing, but yeah, to me the Trunks a little worse. But I'm okay with it because it's my deck. Bandai, if you're watching, please don't ban any of these cards. Please ban. No. We're joking. I'm kidding. Alex, you have any? Fuck, Chris. I keep confusing the two guys. Any thoughts on this or no?
No, I agree with everything. The Trunks is worse. The Vegeta just on paper really is just so nuts. Like, just like in like a blue matchup where like you Goku negate them and then just go swing with Vegeta, kill it in rest mode, and then it's like, oh, there goes my floodgate.
Yeah, because one of the things Yellow's always missing is removal. So I always thought this card was nice to have, but at the same time, I get it. You know, like, well, now you're giving the best color the thing it needs. You know what I mean? So I understand that logic. So on either way, I understand the logic. So all right, let's go to the next card that we have here.
So I want to say before we go to the next card, people don't think we're hating on yellow. We have the cards in color order, so we're just talking about yellow.
Yeah, is that the case? That rules. We should just talk about yellow cards. Yeah, that's hilarious. Okay.
This isn't just we hate
yellow.
No, don't worry. Yeah. The next 10 cards are yellow.
I just saw the next card. Swift Retaliation Cooler. All right, Chris. You first this time. Tell me what you think about Cooler. Of course, if you're watching from home, it's a 3-drop for 3 yellow. It's a counter. When you play it, you draw 1. And the counter negates the counter. And then you play this card. If they have 6 or more cards in rest mode, you draw a second card. So go ahead, Chris. What do you think about this card? I mean, it can hit Baby Hatch. It can hit Dimension Magic. It can hit... and also, like, if they take a life with Dimension Magic, you guys, Chris and Alex, you guys know this, but in case other people don't. If they take a life with Dimension Magic because they're tapped out and they want to untap 2, and you Swift Retaliation Cooler them, they still have to take the life because that's the cost, but they don't untap the 2 energy. So this card can be really broken against some decks. So go ahead, Chris. What are your thoughts on this card?
My biggest problem with this card is that you already talked about that, like, some of the best yellow decks play really cheap. And, like, it's hard, like a deck like Trunks Cheetah already setting up a board that's hard to break. And then on top of that, they also have an insane counter that will stop any floodgate when they're trying to push for game. When they can already play insane cards for 1 or 2 energy, and yellow already takes the game to late. This card just, like, turns into, like, this ridiculous answer that now every time you play against yellow, you're sitting there like, he has 3 energy up, I can't use my best negate. I can't use stuff like Hatch, or Ready to Rumble, or Baby's Minion, because it's all under risk of them tapping 3. And the worst part about this whole card is that it also draws.
He draws 2. It's a baby.
It can draw 2.
Yeah, it's a baby.
It can draw up to 2. So in a lot of cases, they're using when they draw 2, meaning that you just went -1, or if in Frank's example you sparking, you just went -1 and you lost a life and the attack's still going through.
Right, exactly. And also, it makes you play to a point where, like, if you already have cards on board as the yellow player, like if you're Sin Shenron, which I think this card is best in Sin Shenron, obviously, but like, or maybe Trunks, actually Trunks Vegeta is great too, but if you already have cards on board, you can't even floodgate those. So you have to like combo out first and then wait for them to tap and then maybe negate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you said it perfectly.
Yeah,
Where this card is the best is in yellow decks that can play Celzino, and then now they can play a 40k dual attack quad striker
of course,
without spending any energy, and now they have a counter on top of it.
True. All right, Alex. You next. What are your thoughts on this card?
Yeah, for me, it's like this card's disgusting, especially because unlike I know blue has a counter in the Golden Avenger. That costs 5. People say, oh, so what if it's 5? Blue, it's blue, whatever. But no, the thing is, when you take somebody to turn 6 in yellow, because yellow can do that quite often, you can go to turn 6, you can use 2 of these in 1 turn. So if you swing at them, they say tap for a negate, you cooler them, they Golden Avenger you can cooler them again. And they can't Golden Avenger you again, for an example. This card being able to be used multiple times once it hits turn 6, because yellow can take you to turn 6 easily in most decks, especially decks like, for say, Trunks Cheetah can take you to turn 6 easily. I don't think this card should exist. This card, I feel, should be banned, and I'll say that flat out. Either ban this card, or make a swift retaliation for every color. That does its own thing. That negates the counter, and then, the secondary auto can do something like red can neg something, green can pop something, blue can untap an energy, black.
Well, would blue really need one if they have Golden Avenger?
Blue doesn't need one because they have Golden Avenger, but I'm just, for an example, give everything a swift retaliation or ban this card. I don't think this card should exist, personally.
Okay, I understand that, and I think that's a good point. Whenever you ban a card, in my opinion, I think you should replace it with a shittier version, which is funny because that's what Swift Retaliation Cooler is. Swift Retaliation Cooler is just like a battering laser. Like, because when they banned Battering Laser, I was okay with the ban because, well, battering was insane. But second of all, I was okay with it because, oh, you guys gave us like a really bad battering though with this cooler counter. And now we've gotten to the point where we've adjusted to it. The game has slowed down, and Swift Retaliation Cooler is now really good, right? So now I do think that okay, I think each color does have one. So black has the worst one. Black has the worst one that does it in like turn 4 for 1 and it's specific.
Well, technically speaking,
exactly. Cooler hits everything,
one,
right?
But every color can. The only ones that they negate are the ones that say if your opponent activates a counter skill that has an original energy cost of 1, but they do it by sparking, you negate it.
Right. And I think that this makes more sense. I don't think that red. I don't want red to have a sword red. Like they have the. I like the King Vegeta because King Vegeta costs an energy, and King Vegeta, 1 energy is a lot in red. You know what I mean? Like it's not like 3 energy. 1 energy in red's a lot, and also it's not countering anything. It's only things when your opponent is like tapped out, like or your opponent's paying for something they should pay 1 for, and it makes sense with red's identity, I guess, and it's not as overpowered. Whereas, I think it's in yellow's identity to counter, because, like, in the first set of this game, I remember, yellow had all the crazy tricks. Yellow had Crusher Ball, yellow had Cold Bloodlust. They also had others, like Rikuma Razor Gun, but let's not talk about that. And then remember, yellow didn't get a negate until set 2, because yellow's identity was its trickery in set 1, when we still had, I think, a bit of more color identity. So I'm okay with every set having a thing, but one of them being the best at it. Like, I think that every color has a counterplay, but I'm okay with, like, blue having the God Seal, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a bad example, but I'm okay with colors having finishers, but maybe maybe the slow color has the best finisher. Like in Magic, green is gonna have the biggest bombs, right? So if yellow truly is, and if you want to delete that, color identity, because I'm okay with that, because I think we've gotten past that. I agree with Alex. Maybe make one for each deck, for each color. And I'm sure Alex isn't saying, I'm gonna give me some rope if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Alex isn't saying every color needs a 3-drop, 15k battle card, counter. I'm sure that with blue it could be 4, with red it could be whatever. So I agree with your point. I think we sort of already have some. I think, remember, as far as Baby goes, he can do it for free. Like, motherfuckers do play that Trunks, that Trunks Edition does get played. Also, another thing I wanted to talk about is that next set, they really want people to combo, not negate. So I'd like to see, maybe this card fits with with the plan for next set, but Of course, that's a joke, because when you play this card, it's when you're going for a game, not in the middle of a game. So I totally understand. So I get your point. It is crazy. Yellow has a lot of secret rares. Like, Yellow now has what? A Bergamo, a Swift Retaliation, a Power of a Super Saiyan. So Yellow's just full of just goodies.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I've also seen a lot of people talk that they're like, oh, just limit it, and how that really doesn't do anything. This card's already played at 2-1, but then the most important argument is that when I play against Yellow, I feel like I'm playing against a color with like 4 secret rares, because they all have a bunch of limited to 1 cards, and it's harder to play around a 1-of, because you're playing that famous game of just have it.
Yeah, when I get a deck that draws 3 a turn.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I understand. So again, if you're watching from home, if you want this card banned, we totally get it. If you don't, I get it. I'm kind of okay with it, but I don't feel strongly about it. But I can see this one. I think so far it's been cooler for me, and I can see Annihilation. I think those are the ones that you guys were talking about that I think make the most sense so far. And again, the cards we're showing you right now aren't so much the ones that we think should get banned, but it's the ones that people have been talking about to open up the discussion, okay? So right now we have a limited to 1, and it's Bergamo for our Ferocious Roar. And this one has been talked a lot about because of the starter deck Goku and how sick this card is. And like, I love using this card offensively, obviously, but I think defensively, it's even so cool using this card defensively. So, all right, who's got something to say about this card? Because you could talk about this card for an hour.
Chris,
yeah. So yeah, one of the biggest points with this card is the new starter Goku deck, because we just talked about that Yellow can make it to turn 6. Yeah. So now you think about a turn 6 with like the Yellow Goku, where they go rest your board, then they go Bergamo, then they tap you for the Bardock Seeker and rest an energy, and now 3 of your energy's just been rested when you were sitting there waiting for a crackback turn.
Right, yeah, exactly. And it's like...
And like you said, this card's gross on defense. I lost a game because I was playing AOD, and he Bergamoed the blue energy down, and I couldn't bean for the turns. I lost next turn.
It's 1 yellow. Like, we always see this card getting played by yellow pilots. So we see them tap to yellow, and we just forget sometimes like what it. But it's only 1 yellow, 1 other color. So that's one of the things I like about AOD. Alex, what are your thoughts on this card?
I mean, I don't think it needs banned. Personally, I can understand that people don't want to deal with Goku rest board, Bergamo, SCR, rest 3 energy. Haha, you know, but that's a really late game play. We need finishers at some point. And that's a lot of stuff to do when in a card that can be counterplayed, because there's a lot of stuff that counterplays this. I mean, I've counterplayed this in red, I've counterplayed this in green with Dark Death Ball. There's a lot of things that hit this card out of the board.
Sorry, did you just say Dark Death Ball a 5-drop?
I'm sorry, I was thinking of the one that hits 20k or less. But yeah, ignore me. So,
Omen, right? You're thinking of Omen.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. Omen.
It's okay. I call, by the way, every token negate, I just call clone negate. So don't worry, I get it.
Yeah, everything that hits a 20k or less, I don't know why, I just think of Dark Death Ball.
Of course. No, of course, yeah.
But I don't think this card needs banned. I think it's fine. It costs 2 energy, which is kind of expensive early on, so they have to play this more later than earlier on. But yeah, like you said, it's more of a defensive card than an offensive card. Offensive, it's still good, but defensive, it's gross, because telling your opponent you have 2 less energy to work with this turn, especially if they're not blue, is really gross.
Yeah, and now I
don't think it needs banned, though.
And let's remember, though, that sometimes it may not be about Bergamo, but it may be about the other 9 limited ones that Yellow has.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so maybe Bergamo by itself isn't bad, but maybe, you know, all together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but thinking like, oh, maybe I can't play this because or maybe I can't do this because if I swing with this, they could pause me and then Bergamo me and then do this. So let me use my energy first, and then they don't have Bergamo, and now you've played into thinking that they had one of the 9 1-ofs in yellow.
But I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying I don't think this one needs banned.
So here's why this one could get banned, actually, and it's like the reason it didn't get banned, let's get real, is because they're printing out a winter promo. So a couple of things has happened now. One, the winter promo, like that already happened. So I think that's now is gold time for it to come back. And 2, it just became good again. So like the reason there wasn't a huge, I guess, outcry for this card getting banned is because Power of Super Saiyan got limited, and Power of Super Saiyan is like one of the biggest reasons why this card needed to get banned at the moment. But now that we have that started it coming out, and now that we have that Goku coming out, I don't know if Goku plays things in rest or switches them to rest, but we can all agree that like Yellow's gonna have a lot more resting shit right next set, just because of how much that shit's gonna get played. And if you're looking at the new cards, specifically the Bardock stuff and the Piccolo, Yellow's still resting cards, right? So resting is just as popular as it ever was, if not more, because now we have a starter deck that's going to be able to do it. And buying one Bergamo, you know, who cares? The Yellow player's going to do that. Also, everyone's got their winter promos and everyone played it, so it's going to hurt a little less doing it now. It's been a year, so I think that is one big reason. Looking at Bergamo, but I agree with Alex though. I don't think it needs to get banned. So okay, let's go to the next card. Shit, are we out of Yellow yet? Okay. Okay, we're moving on to black now, but really this is Yellow.
No, this is lumped in with Yellow. This isn't black.
Copy and paste my previous feelings about Trunks and the Goku and put it in Putin. I don't think it has to get banned, but yeah it is barrier for free.
We don't need to talk about this too much. This one, it's just oppressive mixed with other cards.
Exactly.
Mixed with the Trunks, mixed with Super Namekian, it's really oppressive. But I don't think this card per se needs hit.
Maybe if they hit 2 of them.
Limiting it to 1 doesn't really make a sense. I mean, you can play it at 2, but playing it at 1 is fine.
Yeah.
I don't think this card's gonna get hit, but I see a lot of people complaining about it. That's the only reason it's here. But I don't think this card needs to.
No, I mean it might just get hit so they stop crying about it. I think when I started this game, in set 15, I saw Putin crying there, and I haven't seen it stop ever since.
Oh no, it's always been there since I played the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You were saying, Frank?
No, I just feel like one thing we gotta be careful though is wow, this is gonna sound so stupid, but we gotta be careful because we need someone in this game to check other colors, and Yellow does that really well, and I'm kind of getting scared of Red. Not that I think Red needs a ban at all, and Green as well, but they are powerhouses. So when we look at this ban list, it needs to truly be balanced, and it needs to truly only take out things that are going to make the game unfair to other colors, competitively, on a competitive level, right? And we do have to remember that Green and Red, colors that before were very sorry, like before set 13, I mean, and Green has still been bad recently. So we have to be careful because these colors have gotten very good. And I know that Yellow is what everyone thinks when they think oppressive, because Yellow's been good Yellow's won every national event. We know that. We know that Yellow's always been on the map, right? But we have to be careful because, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So like, yeah, we can look at Yellow, but on the horizon there's a lot of crazy shit, right? Besides, like,
I 100% agree with you.
So let's be careful. I hope Bandai doesn't just like ban every single Yellow card we just talked about, like all these 7 Yellow cards.
That'd be a massacre.
That'd be ridiculous.
Because Yellow does get kind of stomped by a lot of this shit. Like I side since Shenron on my red decks, the Unison. Just
that hurts Trunks Cheetah a lot.
Yeah, just to deal with these yellow barrier cards, because that's one way to deal with it. You know, I mean, tax your hand, right? In a way, I'm gonna swing at your shit, and I don't know. Like, I think you gotta just be careful with it. But all of these individually, like in unlock, I agree with it in a vacuum. All together, we'll see how they do. Bandai's pretty good about this shit though. All right, so next, I'm giving this one straight to Chris and Alex. This is gonna be the 1-drop Vidal Miraculous Aid. It can only be played in the Bulma deck. Correct me if I'm wrong. It gains Saiyan in all areas. If you choose one red or yellow Saiyan or Earthling card in your drop area and place it at the bottom of your deck, when you play this card, choose up to one red or yellow Saiyan card with an energy cost of 3 or less in your drop area and add it to your hand. So what's up with this card? What do you guys? I mean, it's obviously for Bulma, right? Tell me what you guys think about it.
So the outcry that people had recently is because Identity got banned. Bulma is back on the map again because Secret Identity Mass Saiyan, the overall. Because that card checked Bulma in a very good way because they had a lot of 1-drop blockers that Identity just went, you're all gone. With that card gone, Bulma has resurfaced as a really really oppressive deck that just will sit there and stall you out and deck you out. And a lot of people complain about this card in particular because, as you read it, you basically can bottom deck one super combo and then add another one to hand.
Yeah.
Or you can bottom deck one of your Earthlings that you need back and then add the super combo back to hand. And so what you can do with this card is you can infinitely loop it. You can Videl, bottom deck Videl, add super combo, Videl, bottom deck Videl, add super combo, and just keep doing it over and over. So your opponent has to try and swing through all these blockers while you're getting all your super combos back every turn.
Yeah.
This is why people want this card.
Now,
I don't think... however, I don't think this card needs it. Next set, going into next set, Red, specifically Bulma, is a dead into the SS4 Gogeta deck.
It's not just that too. It's the yellow Goku as well. Resting
the yellow
all
Goku
the
as well.
blockers.
Rest everything, and people are overreacting in my opinion about this card. Like, yes, it's stupid right now, but going into next set, it's not going to be as good because you're going to play the Gogeta 8 in SS4, and you're going to go punch blocker, punch blocker, punch, punch, punch. Like, you're going to punch everything and then punch their face. This card's not going to do anything. And yellow starter Goku, you're going to rest their whole board, and they're going to have maybe 2 blockers up if they have, you know, the My King Piccolo's Underling. Decks do play that because it's a barrier blocker, but that is why people complain for this card to be hit.
Okay, Chris?
No, 100%. Me and Alex legit were talking about just like what is Bulma doing next set when there's so many checks to this deck. Like SS4, even though like in our red video, which you guys should check out, that we talked about that Sid might be a little better, SS4 is still going to be all over the map, and that deck will check this deck like there's no tomorrow.
So one thing that I'm proud of this community is that, like, in my opinion, when a card is a problem, I think that a game should give us a shot to defeat it on our own. And then if, like, okay, so a deck is a problem for one set, right? And so Bandai should give us one more set to see if we can deal with it. Because I like it when the game, you know, now, but there's sometimes when it doesn't. There's sometimes when a deck is truly better and a Terminator and truly just superior. An example is Dark Broly, right? So Dark Broly is an example of a deck that was just like, it didn't play Dragon Ball Super, it played its own game. I think Vegex, like the original like U3 Vegex with fucking like all the shit it had with Bibbidi and Super Combo and all that, you know? So I like it when we build something, I like it when there's a Wild West kind of feel to the game because everyone has to worry about all these decks. And it really makes the format a player talent format, right? So, I'm really proud of people when this deck emerged, how they answered to it. I didn't see a lot of bitching. I didn't see as much, you know, complaining as much as I saw people adapting. And that was really cool. And I actually have it right here. And one of my favorite things that was really funny is people started playing the King Cold, right? The King Cold 6-drop in blue that makes a mill out.
Red,
and it wasn't
Red
just that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just cool seeing people adapt and try to overcome over Bulma and use their knowledge in the game, especially older players that have been playing for a long time and players who are good at researching, who will just go on a laptop. Alex, Chris, you guys are good at that. And I liked seeing those players shine. And sometimes I wish Bandai would give those players a chance to kind of like to show off their deck building skills, you know. And if you ban everything so quickly, you don't let that happen. And I always love it.
Yeah.
I always love it when there's a weird top and you're like, wait, Black Mass Saiyan Power Thirst top? You know, like, and it's like, yeah, because a guy had a really good idea with that deck. And I like it when those players are highlighted. And because if you ban everything really quickly every time, it's always going to be just the best deck and the best 3 decks, you know. But when it's a wide kind of Wild West type of meta, I really like weird players coming out and shining. And the both of you, for example, have that potential a lot. So, what are you saying?
So, one more thing with this card, I'll tie it back to Super Namekian real fast, is that I appreciate cards that are really good in one deck. This card is only good in Bulma.
Yeah.
It literally cannot be used in any other deck.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I think it's fine, because it's limited to one deck. You're never going to see this card played in any other deck to recycle super combos because it can't.
Yeah, fair.
It has to be in Bulma.
So it seems that we're now in red. So let's go to the next card. Let's see what else you guys put up here. Oh, Crown. Oh, come on, guys. That's my favorite card. You guys know what you're doing. It's not my favorite card.
Why don't you start us off?
So, okay, who? Me? Fuck you. I'm not saying anything. I love this card. Okay, so Broly Crown is like one of my stubborn cards. I have stubborn cards that I'll run at 4 in weird decks. So, like, for a while, I would run, like, Vegeta Unison of Fury, which is, like, my favorite yellow card. I love that card so much. I am a slave to that card. I'll run that at 4, and people will tell me it's bad, and then I'll lock a deck out of playing a game and beat them with the card, and I'll be like, so you're fucking saying? And, like, Broly Crown is my favorite. Like, against Gamma, that and BMS are my answers. Like, you need tool cards to go against your bad matchups, and I understand there's 2 levels of it. There's, like, you can't have an answer for every deck. Sometimes you just gotta lose. And some people think, like, well, you need a little answer for everything to make the game a little... And I think that the point of this card kind of, like, lost its way. Because this card came out years ago, and it was meant to really check... Here we are talking again about Bulma again, but Bulma. It was supposed to check Bulma, it was supposed to check Surgical. Because when you play Broly Crown, you're basically taking out at the time Topo Righteous Aid, you're taking out Vegeta, exploiting weakness, you're taking out a lot of... But nowadays, it's just like, oh, you left 2 up, incidentally? Cool, give me a super combo, let me see your hand, right? So I understand the strength of it now is not what Bandai meant for it to be, you know? Now, it's not unexpected. Bandai expected people to use it this way, but it has simply... you know, lost it. Like, you can fucking floodgate for 1 nowadays, you know, it doesn't matter. You can floodgate for free sometimes, so I get it, and I don't. I'm just so attached to this card, and I'm so in love with this card. It's hard for me not to be biased. So, but you guys go ahead and take it.
Yeah. So here, you want me to take it out?
No, Chris goes first. Chris is usually wrong. No, Chris is usually wrong. So, like Stephen A. Smith and ESPN, we gotta have Chris go first all the time, because then the good rebuttals go after. Go ahead, Chris, you first.
One of the best part about this card, and Frank has been like busting a nut over this card.
Oh, here we go. Shut up.
SS4 deck, because in SS4. And the new Unison. You know what Broly Crown has just turned into? A blind window 1.
Yeah, a blind window.
Meaning now when your opponent leaves 2 energy, even by accident, you can just go blind window 1. They say nothing, you go Crown. Yeah. And they're like, then no response.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I totally get the 1-drop red, but red's tools do have to be cheaper, but red is turning into 100%.
Yeah, but it's like you said, where Crown maybe has just done a little too much, especially next format where I think Dirty Burst is going to be a disgusting card, and this card will never let you Dirty Burst safely. Because if I Crown and you go Dirty Burst, well, I'm not summoning anything. If I Crown, look at your hand and see if Dirty Burst, I'm not going to play a high drop. Like, it really just becomes, like, it is a blue check nowadays. It's a blue and yellow check at most. But it's like you said, yellow can, like, floodgate for 1 or, like, a 0 sometimes. And at that point, you don't need Crown. So Crown just kind of becomes the blue answer.
I'll charge
especially against Gamma.
I'll charge my Crown and send a message.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Big Dog. What do you got on this card?
So, now, I don't think the card should be banned.
Wait, hold on, stop. Alex has real beef on this card because he's already saying he doesn't want it to get banned. But you know that nothing nice comes before the word but. So, or after the word but. So let's hear what I go ahead, Alex. What you got, Ada?
It's a very simple errata. All right.
Yeah. Oh God.
Limit 1. Limit 1. That's all you
got.
Nah,
I got a better errata
okay.
for you.
Because that's my favorite. My favorite is to have 3 of them. My favorite is having 3 of them against Gamma.
Okay, yeah. So that was the example. So Chris, just the other day, was playing against Puda at locals. We were just having shooting the shit, playing locals. He was playing his deck, whatever. He left 2 energy up.
Who did?
Incidentally, like he said, he just incidentally left 2 energy up.
And Chris
went crown.
Yeah. And the context of that game was I had nothing in my hand I could tap for.
Yeah.
So I literally said,
I'm glad.
Play crown. Take 3 super combos out of it.
I'm so proud of Puda right now. Yeah, that's the play. Fuck you.
And so that's why I think this card just having its auto be limit 1 would be fine. You still get the hand knowledge, you still get to rip a card, punish your opponent for leaving 2 energy up, but you can't just do it multiple times in a turn. I don't think
Okay.
the card should be limited to one. I don't think it should
Fair.
be banned. I think it should be just auto limit one.
So from a business standpoint, I see Bandai hitting this card because this was supposed to stop the game from its surge meta identity, where we nobody played battle cards on our turn back then. We played cards on your turn, and it's a game of chicken. Whoever played the first battle card, okay, great, then I'll have hope. You know what I mean? Like, it was always Raiders Work Ride, we're comboing, we're playing on a combo step, right? And this card was meant to manage that a little bit, because if you're leaving 3 energy up, that's what Brolycron is for. Now, here's the thing, though, that I'm thinking of is that we're coming into another meta that's very big on comboing. And Brolycron punishes that heavily, especially with decks like the Bardock deck, for example. The Bardock deck may very well be that type of deck that's just playing shit on their turn a lot. So I'd like to see what their thoughts are on this card, because, and again, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but whenever I talk a ban and how I feel about it, it always comes down to future-proofing and making the new shit playable, right? That's my biggest opinion, because I don't think there's a big threat in this game that's bullying the game. So I don't think there should be any bans. But I can see through the mentality of Bandai saying, like, how are we gonna make these guys play fucking combo decks when you need energy to combo and Brolycron exists? So I can see it on that level. You guys have anything else in this card?
That's actually a pretty good point. Yeah, there's a lot of hits, a lot of future releases that as a business you have to think about. It's like the same mentality that YuGiOh has, where they ban like the old stuff that ruins the new stuff because they want to promote the new things.
Yeah, and
no, YuGiOh bans stuff because they want you to buy the new things.
Yeah, YuGiOh is like, what's the best card in this?
It's a mix
set?
of both, though, because some old cards become like good for old decks, so they ban that, and because they want you to play the new, better version.
So to clarify,
YuGiOh go ahead and bans like common staples for no reason.
Exactly, but it doesn't have to be that good, because just to clarify a perfect example for you guys watching from home, and this is a perfect example. When Multicolor came out, Bandai said, we have to make a statement, and we have to print a card that's going to make people not want to play the old shit, but want to play Multicolor. So they printed a card, which is, what the fuck is the Android 21 Battleman or some shit, I think it's called.
Oh, dude, I was just talking about that. Yeah,
it fits this example perfectly in 2 stories. The first story is that in the set coming out, and it's all about Multicolor, when it plays, any card that's not Multicolor, it gets destroyed, right? So you want to play Multicolor. Now, once that block ends, and you go into set 10, which is a not Multicolor, kind of set, you want to play monocolors because unisons are the new hotness. They took the card out, not because it's like rampaging through the meta, but because like you want, it's all about motivation and about money and selling your new product. So they don't want you to not want to play. They don't want you to be scared about playing about monocolors, because there's this new Bad Omen card that's gonna just blow your shit up and punish you for it. So Bandai is a little bit better than YuGiOh, I think, about banning, because their banning is all about making you feel good about playing the new shit.
Yeah,
and
I prefer Bandai's banning to Konami's banning, because Bandai doesn't ban too much, and what they do ban makes sense. Konami just bans, like,
and sometimes they ban things that don't make sense, and you're like, why did they ban that? And it's a lot of future proofing.
Later on.
Yeah.
And then it makes a lot of sense later on. Like everyone, like last Banlist, everyone was complaining about Fath and Identity, but like playing into this set with no Fath or Identity is so much more healthy.
Yeah, it's cool, right? It's cool, and it's making people play like bad overroams, which is really funny. But okay, let's go to the next card here. Limited to 1 right now is a Piccolo Jr. I feel like in the next set, I wonder if I'll play 4 Gogeta unisons and 1 Piccolo Jr. unison in the SS4 deck, because it searches a 2-drop. But
that's actually a very good point that we can go straight into this segment, and that's that in testing with not only Sin but Gogeta, Piccolo Jr. just doesn't do anything. It's become your Saki 1-of, and it's come to a situation where I had it in hand and I charged it because I wanted to see Gogeta instead. Because the point that Alex and I were talking about is that with the new Gogeta just being so ridiculous, and reality, this card got really hard hit that it should have really just been an errata to being once per turn on its auto. Because now it's just turned into a 1-of that's probably soon gonna get replaced, and it's not gonna have a place anywhere with it being limited to 1.
That's
the
fair.
only place it'll have being limited to one is in Starter Vegeta as a one-up.
Or King Piccolo, because
Or
some people are
Piccolo,
still
yeah.
playing that deck.
So like Chris said, I think this card could come back to 4. Just errata its auto to once per turn.
Yeah, I understand. I think that the weakest thing about this card that's not going to get it banned is the fact that it's a +1 and a +2, and I think
Oh yeah.
Unisons
No,
are going to
it's a
get
+1
shit
-2.
on. Yeah, if you're a 15k next set and you're a Unison, you're going to die. And if
And
you're
you
a
don't +2, you're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's gonna be so hard for Unisons. And again, props to Bandai for. I mean, you got a power creep sometimes, you know, and they're doing the power creep. Usually do it really well without being too broken, but next set is extremely broken. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Moving on to Young Invaders. Okay, so I like, and remember, guys, everything that we're talking about here, we're clarifying. Not all of these things we want banned. Some things we're just discussing because you guys discussed it. However, you guys, everyone at home watching right now is like, of course, Frank has Young Invaders. But this was their idea, and I like what they said because I asked you guys, what are your thoughts on Young Invaders? Are you trying to just free Invaders? And before I let them take it over, just as a reminder, okay? Auto, if you lead a card as a King Vegeta, at the start of your opponent's turn, you can now, for 1 energy, play up to one of your Young Invaders in their battle area. And this is something that was free before and it costs 1 now. So at the start of your opponent's turn, you play it. And then now, the activate main, you can add up to 1 card from your life to your hand and then play one of those Young Invaders from your deck in rest mode in your side. And both of these cost 1, right? So you can activate main, play a Young Invader on your side for 1, or at the opponent's turn for 1, play it, right? And then deactivate main to neg 1, 5,000 doesn't matter. But okay, guys, go ahead. Now that I've set it up for you, tell me why you think this should get banned, brought back, or errated.
So I think we can remove the cost on the first active main. Leave the cost on the auto because playing the card to your opponent's side of the field is very good because a lot of the stuff I'm not 100% familiar with this deck. But the Vegeta and the...
Well, it's burning a life. I think
Vegeta,
what they were worried about is they were burning a life.
Yeah, exactly. So it crits you a life, and then the King Vegeta leader actually can awaken when your opponent's at 4 or less life, which is very interesting. So we can leave that one to cost an energy. That's fine to have that one cost energy because it's a really good effect. But we can remove the cost on the original first activate main, make that a free, because that's just self-awakening. You're taking a life to add it to your hand, you're playing a Young Invader for free to your board, and then you can swap it out for like the Vegeta or the Goku or the Broly, whatever bigger guy you're playing. I think that's fine. I think that can happen, and, you know, it won't be broken FTK anymore like it was before, because before it was dumb stupid shit where you're just like playing an invader for free, playing another guy for free, going up the chain and just beating your opponent's face in for no reason.
Yeah, I agree.
But at least now we'll leave the auto to cost 1.
Exactly. Chris, you got anything?
Yeah, because watching this deck play and the fact that I actually played this deck for a bit when I was like looking for decks to try, the active main costing an energy always just felt like such a detriment because it's a once per game effect. Sorry, not once per game. I'm bad at reading. But it's like you're really only gonna use it if you're playing in a matchup where it's like I really need the life, because most of the times you're gonna awaken when your opponent's at 4 because the whole point is you're critting them down to 4. But since you have to tap 1 to crit them to 4, it really just becomes a detriment that you also have to tap 1 to activate main. When in some matchups, the tapping 1 up for the playing on their side is too much. After all, red's a cheap color, so tapping already hurts.
I think maybe what they can do is make it, if your opponent has 2 or more energy, you can for free play him on your side. Because the whole point of why it costs 1 is because they don't want you to burn your opponent for free. But another thing that was a problem is playing really cheap cards really early. And like, 1 hit, or what the fuck is the switching gears? Or whatever. It's a 19k crit Goku Vegeta, and it's a 19k crit that looks at the top 5 for a 5 or less red battle card. So that card, turn 1, is a little crazy. So here's my thoughts on this. I love what you guys said. I think maybe it's a good compromise between what Bandai wants and what we want, and maybe make the second one if your opponent has 2 or more. But I think that there's a time to bring back old stuff, and there's a time to delete old stuff. And I think that in the first block, in the first set of a block, isn't the time to bring back old exciting stuff to excite people for old shit. I think it's on set 2 and 3 and later on when you want to maybe bring back once your new set is established, because you really want to sell the new shit, and bringing back old shit that excites people. You want to excite them. You want to make people excited only for the new stuff to buy it.
You know,
but I agree
talking
with
about
what you're
that
saying.
point,
Say
that
what?
there's a very funny thing you can do against this deck now, which is you can now combo the young invaders and then Z charge them. And if they play all of them to you, and then so at that point you actually get rid of the invaders they have that they need to bounce.
Yeah, this is stupid. The energy is so ridiculous. But okay, so let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah. All right. So, but I like this idea a lot. I think eventually this should bring it back.
All right, now
let's-
Frank, I need
yeah.
we need a trigger warning for the next
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't agree with
Okay.
this
Okay.
None of us.
We have. Oh, none of you agree with it. Okay. So let's. I forgot what it is. So let's see what. Let's see what the card is. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm glad none of you agree with this, because Senzu Bean fucking rules. I think Senzu Bean should never be, like, I love Senzu Bean, unless they're gonna reprint a Senzu Bean, which they shouldn't, because why? Like,
Okay.
but go ahead. So you guys
So-
in the community have talked about Senzu Bean a lot, and a lot of you guys bring it up. So we're talking about it for you. We're your voice here. We're bringing it up, and we're gonna be impartial. Okay, we're gonna try to come up here and not just shit on the Senzu Bean ban topic. Okay, so you guys take it away first, and I'll
Oh.
see.
I will play devil's advocate, and I will talk for the people that want Senzu Bean hit. I don't personally think Senzu Bean needs it. I can get where they're coming from when they say an aggro deck that can splash Bean is ridiculous. You know, look at AOD, you look at Massane if they play with blue energy in there. You know, anything that can splash blue energy into an already aggro deck is very good, but I think that's fine. Chris has reasons. I'll let him talk about them later, but I don't think it should be hit personally. I think Bean is fine. Bean has been here since the beginning. Leave it be.
Yeah.
But if they do hit it, do not limit it. Do not ban it. Just make it a limit 1. Active main limit 1. You can only use 1 Bean per turn.
Cool.
I think that's a good compromise between hitting the card and not hitting the card. But again, and I'll say it again, I don't think the card needs touched. I think it's fine.
Chris?
So my favorite part about Bean, which I've done a lot, and something Alex bullies me for, is the fact how creative you can get with your deck building when you try to throw in Bean in there. Because now you're starting to throw in some blue energy, or you play like a rainbow deck that has access to it. Rainbow decks being one of the best users of Bean, stuff like Grand Prix, Rainbow Bardock, the YuGiOh, being that they have naturally blue energy, so they are allowed to use Bean, and it makes the decks more creative, because you can get very creative with how you combo, how you sequence, having a good defense option, and just any other deck, if you want to throw in a blue engine to play Bean, makes it that you're challenging yourself to build a deck that's not normal, because you are trying to incorporate a very great card. But that's what my take is, that it just really promotes more creative deck building. Yes, some decks are really crazy with it, like AOD, but it's nice to have just an option like that. Because if AOD didn't have Bean, it would be a good deck. Would it be worse? Yes, but it's nice the fact that they have it, because it makes the deck just a little more interesting to have an untap to extend your plays.
Yeah.
And like I said, limiting it to limit 1 per turn is fine, because I played AOD the other day against one of my buddies. It was the same day that this man got crowned 3 times in 1 turn. I used Senzu Bean 3 times in 1 turn in AOD against a buddy of ours, Kavir, where he was playing like cooler, and I just went, yeah, swing, Bean, play garlic, swing, Bean, play garlic, swing, Bean, play garlic, swings, and he just like, it's just, I'm getting infinite stuff out of it for no reason. So limit 1, active main limit 1, I think is a good compromise. What do you think, Frank?
So if you're a loved one, love Senzu Bean and love the YuGiOh deck, please go to YuGiOh Say It Only and watch the last video about YuGiOh and set to YuGiOh. Yeah, that was a quick plug. I love Senzu Bean. I think Senzu Bean is very important for the game, because we need a card like Senzu Bean in every color just because like go wide is really good, and you know it's like what is that shit in Digimon that they had where like you could swim with a bunch of little shit, and like in this
I
deck,
don't know. I don't play that game.
yeah, that game sucks.
Yeah,
But,
don't
like,
look at
that
us.
game fucking sucks. Yeah, so Senzu Bean I think is good for defensive reasons mostly, and offensively it's really exciting. I don't think that it makes the best decks in the game broken, but it makes fun decks really playable, and that's what I think again with Slug. Same with Bean. Also, it's just like such a staple in Dragon Ball. Like Senzu Bean is Senzu Bean, man. Like I love now, and Alex is so right about this, and I think this is what Alex meant is that like if this card gets printed today, it 100% has limit 1. So you're not taking away Senzu Bean, you're not banning it, you're not killing it. We still have the beloved Senzu Bean, but let's face it, if this shit came out today, it would have, because as of right now, Senzu Bean does what like the new secret rare has if you have 4 of them, and you're getting pumps. I mean, I'm being a little creative with my example here, but yeah, it's really powerful the shit you can do with Senzu Bean. So, but yeah, I don't ever want to see this card get banned. I think it's like such a historic card in this game that like you can't have it go.
It's like the Dragon Ball spot agreed.
Yeah, man.
And having it banned, it's like it hurts so many rogue decks that do rely on being like, I play Rainbow Bardock, you know I love Rainbow Bardock. If this card didn't exist, I don't think I could play that deck. I think that deck really hurts by not being able to defensively pump my leader.
Yeah, and for you guys watching at home that are screaming at the laptop saying, yeah, no, but you're not talking about what the problem is playing offensively. I get it. So the limit 1 helps with that, right? And also, like I said, I don't think that the best decks in the game are like, yeah, for Senzu Bean right now. You know,
I think 100%.
I think it's the like weird decks, like our YuGiOh deck that we were playing that you guys came up with is so good in that for some weird turns, and it's so much fun and creative. And right now, I don't even think Senzu Bean is that great in this format, to be honest. And not to mention, like, so many decks just bean themselves or are beaned inherently that it's just like no one gives a fuck anymore, right? Because cards go so tall now.
Cut Bean from Gamma.
Yeah, but again, oh yeah, fuck that. Yeah, they don't even play D-Magic really that much, besides maybe one. And also, it's really the offensive thing people are talking about. I think a limit 1 is fine, because it is attached to blue. If you're putting blue in your list, you're either sacking by playing, like, you know, the Bulljack cards, or you're taking out cards out of your deck. You know, I don't know. The way I see it, when good decks add Bean, and, you know, I'm not talking shit about anyone that topped by splashing blue in like YuGiOh or something, but I think it takes a little bit out of your deck. I think it raises your ceiling. It takes a little out of your inconsistency, though, and I could be wrong here, but I feel like Bean's fine the way it is. I think that until it comes out, like if PyCon is the greatest thing in the world, and then Senzu Bean has to be, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I think we're okay for now. So what are we in blue now? We had Young Invaders. We have Bean. What else are you guys putting? Fucking. Oh, fuck you. You guys put SS4 Vegeta Rise of the Super Warrior? No. No. No.
Frick, come on.
No.
That's a community take. So I can let's start with this one. So I've been seeing this pop up. Yeah. Oh, someone died. Alright, so it's fine. He'll come back. So while he's roiding. So I've been seeing a lot of talk in the community that a lot of people have been saying that they think this card's gonna get hit. Primarily because of the new Goku SDR. Because the fact that this card turns into a tap 6, ramp 4, tap 2, untap 10.
That card is so stupid. That card is so stupid.
One of the best applications that people have talked about this for, and this sounds so troll, is in Blue Beerus. Because this just turns into your turn 6 is your 14 energy turn. And then it's like, alright, then and then like you need 2 more turns. Or you're gonna play that Whis that charges itself, and it's like, oh, turn 16, I win.
Yeah, because in the Blue Beerus deck, what people are saying is like turn 6, we go tap 6, play ramp 4, play Goku, untap 8, tap 6, play ramp, tap 6, play. Like you can just literally get to 18 energy on turn 6 now.
Yeah, and in a format where unisons are gonna slowly die out, that includes free counters, meaning that like now it's like even safer to play.
Well, the only free counter this card worried about was God Seal. It didn't really
Exactly.
worry about any of the other
Or
ones.
yeah, or the top one.
The only other one it worried about was really Cold Bloodlust or Super 17 SCR.
Don't tell him about the
And, like,
transgender
And you
SCR.
can
That's nice.
and you can always, not be dumb and just play around it. The fact that Blue Beers can have this like engine where it's like, oh, I can go to like, I can have 16 on my turn 6, is ridiculous. Now, do I think this card should get hit? I personally would like to see it happen. I would love to see.
Yeah, let it exist for a format.
Dude.
If it really proves an issue, then hit it.
Who would not find it funny to see? Oh, guys, look what topped like this regional Blue Beer is. Who wouldn't like that?
It
That would
happened.
be
I think
so
that
funny.
guy actually topped with it a little bit. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I remember scrolling through.
No, yeah, somebody topped it.
Top fuck. I don't remember his name. Shouts out to that guy. That's cool.
So think of the thumbnail. I tap 16 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that shit's gonna have people clicking left, and people are gonna be like, bro, this is hilarious. We
Yeah,
can tap
like,
16 people.
Bandai
But that's a gimmick
already-
deck. I'm okay with those living. I don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And again, that combo really is only super crazy in one deck. Now, I
Yeah,
get it,
I'm okay
Vegeta
with just
Ramp-
'cause, like-
Vegeta Ramp can do this, where they can do, play the Super Warrior and then play the SCR, and now we have 10 energy, so Tragedy Overground. They still have an energy bonus and good luck, have fun. But yeah, I mean,
But I mean,
I can see the card getting.
Bandai clearly made this card because they really wanted Blue to have this amazing aggro option, and because of that, I really think just let it have fun for a format. Just see what we can do with the card.
Who's not doing shit
Also-
next set, guys? It's gonna be fun.
Also, all you have to do against this card, where is it? Sorry, I'm not gonna look for the cards. Is play the cunning cards. If
Yeah.
you're really that worried about it, you tell your opponent, I play peel off the cunning in red. Go ahead, try and untap 10. Go ahead and warp 40 out of your drop area as cost to untap all 10.
Yeah, and cards like those, the Cunnings, is why I brought up a funny meme that I've been seeing that Bandai's gonna ban all of them just so they can have the Goku SCR do what it wants for free, and I don't think they're gonna do that. They're not Konami, but the Cunning are easily some of the best counters because if you play a game of Vegeta Ramp and you want to untap 8 energy, let's say, have fun warping like that many cards. Vegeta Ramp already doesn't have a big drop area. That's why, like, when I Ghost Warrior Alex on SS4, he like didn't care because not only is he not tapping on his turn, that's the main issue. But now you give them an SCR that untaps on the turn. Now it will matter all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm really proud of Bandai for being so creative and successfully making an SCR in blue that I can see people playing over Hatch. Because Hatch, still to this day, I think Hatch is the better option. But
Yeah,
this SCR is so incredibly powerful on certain lists and certain... Like, for example, this interaction is incredible, right? So I do think it's worth noting. But blue is in such a bad area, and the decks where this gets played are rogue at the very least, and at best tier 2, 1.5 maybe. Like I want SS4 Vegeta to be good, but I feel like it gets like even out-ramped by the new Goku. But like, I don't know. I can yeah, this card rules. I fuck you guys that want this card banned. Like, eat a dick. I love this card. I'm kidding. You guys, not you guys though, but everyone.
All right,
else.
now
This card is a ban card.
now we're getting into the hot takes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
these
this
all
is
hot
the
takes
hot take.
now?
Are we still
No,
in
no,
blue?
no.
What's going
Blue
on?
card.
Oh, okay.
The next two
Gogeta
cards are
7.
blue hot takes.
Yeah, you guys are on cocaine. So what? So what's the deal here? Do people want this card back? Do you guys want this card back? Do you want to?
So,
What's the deal?
Alex told me a very funny quote. I'm gonna quote the champ himself, Ender of all, where he said, "If green can, on their turn 5, rip yourself down to 3, why can't blue do the same thing?"
Well, blue ramps.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Blue
That's
ramp.
what-
That's why.
yeah.
And this card has deflect. That's why I don't think
Yeah,
this card.
that's what I think. It's because the only answer you'll have to this play is like Jiren counterplay, and like that's pretty much it.
Now remember too that if we give a shit about a color identity, and this is why I think color identity is stupid in this game because it doesn't exist. Because like even this that came out in fucking like set 5, like people want to talk about color identity, but like the best hand destruction card this game's ever seen is probably Gogeta Hero Revive. So it's just like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I think if you care about color identity, green should do that. Andrew Duvall makes a great point though. Like if you're doing that, but also, I mean, blue gets there quicker, and it's not what blue does. And I mean, I have a lot of reasons why this card. I'm not even gonna talk about this. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, so for me, I don't think this card can come back. I see a lot of people on the discussion post saying like, "Oh, Hero Revive can come back." Da, da, da. No, some blue decks ramp really fast.
Yeah.
And Hero Revive you really fast. Like SS3 Reboot can probably revive you really fast. This card has Deflect, Triple Strike, and also, why would they bring this card back when Turning the Tide exists?
Yeah.
Turning the Tide is objectively a worse Hero Revived. And people are already clamoring, saying, "Oh, Turning the Tide should get touched." You know, I don't think Turning the Tide.
Which, spoiler alert, is not on the list.
Yeah, it's not on this list. I don't think that card should get touched. I don't think this card should come back though, because this card, in my opinion, is ridiculous. I see some people saying, "Bring back Gogeta 7." No, don't bring this card.
No, I 100% agree. This card should not come back. It was brought here specifically just to talk about a few points.
Yeah, we just came in to hate on you guys.
It's not worth it. Yeah. This card should not exist. Turning the Tide exists. So just leave it banned. I'm
so happy that Bandai has grown from where they were in this set, because they made an SCR that's like so bad, and then they made the SR is so much better than the SCR is completely unplayable now. Like it doesn't make any sense. And yet this card was just crazier, and I'm glad whatever happened in the Bandai headquarters that we're printing shit that makes a little more sense now. But okay. Let's see.
Now this one Chris does want back. The next one Chris does want back.
Yeah, Plan for Destruction. I think it's cool. So what are the Zamasu decks? So this card, again, for those of you who don't know, basically your leader's gonna get 10k pump, and if there's a 7 or more energy between you and your opponent, so I don't know, turn 3, you get to ramp this card in rest mode in your energy. The reason this was kind of fucking hella banned is because they came out with a pseudo kind of ramp. Right, it was ramp. Right, it was a ramp Zamasu deck, and I
don't know what set did it come out of?
10, I think. I don't know.
The reason why this got banned, I believe, because I didn't play at the time, but I believe it was because you could activate Battle, Plan for Destruction, and then you would ramp it, and then you would go Zeno Edge of Space, pick it up, put it back down, Plan for Destruction.
Yeah, it was set 10, but it was also Yeah, that makes Edge of Space is such a crazy card, especially back then.
Yeah. So on the cards topic is that yes, this card is ridiculous. But it is one of the arguments that we talked about Slug, we talked about the other ones, that it is leader locked, which is already a really good step in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, they could answer this by bringing it back with a Narada, maybe making it limit 1, or it can't be
who cares? Limit 1, who cares? That's cool.
Yeah. Or 1, yeah. I mean, 4 is fine. And not only bringing it back to 1 would be just a nice option, because, again, you can Sinnoh recycle it, so being a 1 is, actually, fine, but also next set they're bringing a yellow Z leader for Zamasu.
Oh, and it's not gonna get back then.
And this is not locked to color, just as if you're Goku Black or Zamasu.
Yeah, it's not coming back.
It would be they could bring this to 1 just to have the Z leader have another option.
I'm not gonna lie, you had me in the first half, bro. I think this card should come back because it belongs to a really powerful deck. I think both Zamasu decks are really cool, and I think at least the dual attack one I think could top an event, and I think that giving a specific this card has everything I love about a card. This is everything that a card should have besides limit 1. This card has it, and I mean you're not gonna use. I mean, are you gonna use? I don't know. But I really like this card, so I'm really happy.
In dual Zamasu, you always run this card.
Of course.
Yeah, you use it defensively.
However,
you will never use it aggro.
However, though, if they're printing a new Zamasu leader and this is not even color locked, there's no way they're bringing this card back. Or I wouldn't want them to either.
Like I said, it's good in my opinion to come back to 1 at least, test the waters.
Yeah,
because it is leader locked.
This is what I'm talking about.
I say bring it back at 4. I think it's fine.
Bandai needs to start releasing some cards just to test the waters, see what it does in the meta.
Yeah, but Bandai isn't good at testing, so they can have us test the waters with things that are already out, but I don't think they're great at considering what has already been banned and brought back. Because remember, they're also afraid of how crazy competitive Americans are. Because Japanese market isn't very competitive. We know that when they started the game in set 1, they were just dumbfounded watching us play because they're like, wait, it's turn 5. How come none of you have swung at leader? And it's yeah, that's neg. And they're like, what the fuck? So the way that we were mathematically just adding were so greedy about the game and competitive in a great way that they had to adjust to the way that they printed cards. And I forgot, where the fuck was I going with that? Oh yeah, they can't. I don't know. They're not as competitively sound as we are. Maybe I could be wrong about that, but it seems like anytime they print a card, like a new card, on the main group a second later, they're like, "Yep, here's a new card that makes it 100% broken." So it's I don't know. They're very. You have to be very careful with shit like this. But okay, next card. We're still.
Next one is our only green card on the list.
Our only green card. Yeah, good job. We shouldn't have any green cards, but perfect stuff. Okay. I don't think so, but okay, so I didn't see you guys put this on here. Okay, but what? All right.
Do you want us to take over?
Let me just say one thing. This card's really strong. I get it. It got banned. The deck that it originally belonged in got fucked up. But I feel like next set Cell's just dead, so I'm okay with it. But I see where you guys are coming from. But okay, go ahead. What do you guys got?
So, I will say that this is something Alex and I, we don't. If this happened, we wouldn't care. But it's more of a community take because it's something that I've seen.
Fuck
People
the
talk about
community.
like, oh,
The
the
community
perfect
sucks.
force is like crazy. Turn 5, my hand is gone, and it's like blah blah blah. You know, like obviously it's really frustrating to play against.
So the thing is that with Perfect Force, it belongs to a deck that, in my opinion, next set is going to get absolutely destroyed by the new meta of next set.
Yeah.
SS4 and Sin Shenron
Yeah, it's
in
over.
red obliterate this deck.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close how bad they murder Cell. So I don't think Perfect Force needs to be hit. But there's a lot of people that say, I don't like that they can tap 5, put me down to 3, Cell Xeno down to 0, or tap 5, put me down to 3, -7 me down to 0 in Credit Life. So there's a lot of people that are like, Perfect Force, please get hit. Why is this card existing? But in my opinion, this card should exist because there's decks that have Turning the Tide. And
Yeah.
at some point, we need game finishers. We need the game to end at some point. We don't want you to get to 9 energy in Bulma and be able to just keep doing things. You know, we want the game over at some point. So I think this card's still fine to be in the game. I don't think it needs to be touched.
We got to be careful with that though, because then the game comes down to like die roll shit. Like we're like, who gets to their turn 5
That's
first?
a good example because in a mirror match for Cell, it's pretty much who wins the die roll.
Yeah. But
in the
yeah,
match.
I see. I get this card, but like you said, Alex, this card's just gonna get its cheeks absolutely spread.
Yeah.
Next set. Yeah. But okay, let's see.
now we're on the hot takes.
This is the bad. Yeah, this is the fucking.
Except one of them.
What have you done, guys? All right, let's see. We're still on green. We're on black. Oh, Flu Shard. Oh, I know what you're gonna say, Alex. Go ahead and say it.
I think this card can come back as long as it gets the ultimate tag.
Yeah.
The
And I
issue
fully
with
agree.
This card, in my opinion, was not that it locked your opponent. My issue with this card was that they could pan you, they could baby hat you, they could Kai of Time you, they could hit you with these floodgates the previous turn, establish stuff on their own board, and then tell you you can't play the game.
How about this? How about they just print an SCR with a similar effect? Because like, I mean, that's what.
I mean, both work.
But then you're taking potentially a new SCR out of the game. You're just putting another copy of this.
But it's a good idea, and make it a little different. So print an 8-drop, Fu Shrouded, that comes out for whatever you want it to come out for, and it does something that's kind of the same. So it keeps the flavor of Fu. It reminds us of this card, and it doesn't maybe do it for that much. Maybe it does it for a turn and a half, or maybe it turns off certain things. Make it triple strike.
It's a turn and a half. What's a turn and a half?
A turn and a half. Well, it's actually what this does, doesn't it? So a turn is your turn and the next turn. So, oh yeah, this only works for a turn and a half, or you know what I mean?
No, this works until your opponent's next turn.
Until your opponent's next turn. Okay, yeah. So maybe like that. Maybe less than that. Maybe only for this turn is what I guess I'm trying to explain.
It's just with Fu Shrouded. It's like, like Chris said, Duvall said, the game needs game enders. Fu Shrouded was a game ender, but I personally didn't like it because it could be paired with other cards that would stop your opponent's whole turn.
And then you're going to stop their whole turn. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to stop their whole next turn if you don't kill them this turn. So I think this card being eroded with the ultimate tag is perfectly fine in my opinion.
I think the least erratas, the better. Like, they're about to errata a card now because they put hand instead of life just recently. So, like, the least, the more erratas, I think the more not so much
the
confusing
more
for
it
new
turns away
players,
people
but
from the game.
yeah, and so I like the idea of keeping the spice of Fu. We know what Fu Shrouded did. Maybe give Bandai a great idea, because that is a great idea, Alex. Like, if you wanted to put an SCR, make it that. I agree with you. Make it a Fu SCR. That's cool. And we've come to know this character. This game's doing a good job of making us, like, I've never played Heroes, but if you start talking to me about Shun and Fu and like Poutine, I'm like, oh yeah, I know those guys. You know, like a little bit. So this game does a good job of showing me. And I've come, I guess, accustomed to these guys, because like there's another Fu that like hits your hand, and there's this Fu, and I don't know. I think it's cool. Yeah, and now we have an identity with Fu. So I'm cool seeing him come back with a similar effect and do cool shit.
What I still want is a Fu deck. I don't understand why we don't have a Fu leader yet.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's something that always surprised me when I got into this game. I'm like, there's so many Fu cards, but no leader?
Yeah, he's like Mira's mom, or son.
Isn't he like the leader in Super Dragon Ball Heroes? I don't watch Heroes like that, but isn't he like the leader of like the
all I know is, in Prison Planet, he's basically on a quest to like remake a universe. But like, before that, I have no idea who he is.
I think he's not from
Prison Planet. He's way before.
Yeah, didn't he like fuck his mom or something? All right, so go to the next one on the ban list. So we're trying to bring this back. What do you guys want? Gogeta Marvelous Might? Yeah, I got
Alex, this is all you.
So
this was your take.
Was me. Chris told me not to. So Chris didn't want this on the list, but so Marvelous Might to 1.
Chris is laughing.
Because so GX really has 5 targets in the game for their Union fusions. Giving them 1 more back, I don't think will break the deck, but it definitely will give them some love. I know Vegito Xeno is supposed to be coming out, but look at the metagame right now. We have no black decks that are relevant.
Yeah.
Literally, there's like Mastery. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think bringing Marvelous Might back to 1 might push a GX to see competitive play again, and it might bring it back on the map. And some of those black players that have all their staples that, pretty much play black and black alone, they'll be able to go back to their GX deck. Marvelous Might to 1 is not going to break the deck, in my opinion, but it's gonna be a nice little thing to give back to them.
Yeah, I see your point. A lot of people don't like one-ups. I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't disagree with it exactly. I think Gogeta players are doing a good job of keeping the deck kind of alive. I've seen them using like the Pycon Unison, going wide with the 1-drop. So, I don't know if we need it. I don't know if they need it. It's had its time to shine. I'm okay with it going away. It was around for like, what, fucking 4, 5, 6 sets or whatever. But I see your point. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, the problem was thwarting, so yeah.
Exactly. It's like, if it happens, it happens.
Okay, let's go to the next one. This is limited to 1. Yeah, this probably is going to get hit, by the way. Heartfelt plea. This, and especially since they're ruling, well, there's going to be new ruling changes, obviously. But as of right now, apparently the Z Awaken is another window for this card to come out.
Yeah, so like there's like 2 cases for this card. It's like either they don't rule it that it works on Z Awaken, so like the card's like back to itself, or it does work and it gets banned, or we have the secret 3rd spice, which is what we talked about with the Vegeta, where just let it happen for 1 format and see what happens.
Yeah, but Reddit's very strong already and it's getting stronger. I think some things we can just predict. And, I mean, it wouldn't be stupid to say that this card's a bit strong and overtuned.
If they rule it for Z Awaken, I would 100% not be surprised if I saw on the ban list. It would make total sense.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's ruled for Surge Awakenings, so it's going to be ruled for Z Awakenings, unless Bandai just does what they do and just say no. Because they did that with Gamma and some other ruling that we had, where they just said nope.
Yeah, doesn't make sense, don't care enough, yeah.
Exactly. So, but what I do say is that this also promotes Z leaders, because now you're getting another window for this card. You're going to be enticed to play a Z leader deck, so that you can play this card again. Yeah. So it does actually entice Z leaders. That's why I could realistically see this card.
See, now you're thinking like me.
And stay alive for 1 set, then get banned afterwards.
Yeah. Good point. I like that. Yeah. I do think it's got to go. I think it's got to go. I don't think, like, I don't want it to get banned, but, like, if it gets banned, I'm like, yeah. This is the one that you guys have brought up so far that makes, I think, the most sense. Especially because red is so OP right now. So, I mean, it's my baby. It's my color, but...
Yeah, and And this card actually becomes playable in Rainbow Bardock next set because we're getting that new black-red
Yeah.
multicolor Gogeta. So I can awaken, play this guy.
Oof.
Or if
and
I
you're
even want, I can
25k,
have
like
that deck.
actually
Yeah.
you're 26k I think next turn, right? Because you get that whatever. But yeah, no, that's disgusting. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, hard agree. All right, so there's something here already on the ban list. Let me click out a fucking heartfelt. What's going on here? Oh no way. No way.
Hey, whoa! Let us say 2 words, or let us say 1 word. Errata. Bojack
Okay.
Brigade only.
No
leave it
barrier.
on. Bojack Brigade only.
Oh, cool. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, I
Then
am now on board.
It's the same case as Galactic Buster.
I
Cog
am
was
on board.
disgusting dumb, but then they made a Bojack Brigade.
You
Now
know
it's
what's
just
funny? Can you play this card in the mono blue Bojack leader?
So the thing is with
you
the
could,
Bojack leader
but-
is that he untaps for mono blue, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to play it.
But there's a yellow
so
Bojack
you
leader.
play
Of course.
only one
Yeah.
blue-yellow card in that deck. You could charge 1 blue-yellow card, and then turn 5 you can still do this stuff. But you can play it in the yellow Bojack leader at that point if you want to play the blue-yellow for the yellow Bojack leader. But I think eroding this to Bojack Brigade it's cute. It doesn't need to happen.
No,
It's
I
just
agree.
something
I'm
that
actually,
happens.
you guys have made me go from hard disagree to hard agree. Bruce, if you're watching from home, VSA boy, this is for you. I do agree this card in yellow Bojack would be cool. So, no, yeah, okay. Now I'm with you guys. All right, you put me back. You put me back. Congratulations. All right, so Violent Rush Bojack, let's make that into next set now. But yeah, let's make it into Bojack. I like fun decks like that, having a powerful card. Yeah, I agree. All right. It's like what was Gogeta 7? Where's it at? Like if Gogeta 7 was locked when it came out to that shitty like Gogeta leader, sick. People are playing Gogeta like a mid-tier deck with a crazy finisher, and you know, that was cool. I agree. All right. So I think the last card that we have here. All right, so also the Eliminator. I think it's unnecessary because Unison's already taking such a hard hit, and I never liked this card to begin with. But yeah, all right. What are you guys' thoughts?
So, you just brought up literally the point I was about to make is that I think this card could come back pre-eroded because Unison's already gonna fall out of favor next set.
Right. I'll,
Yeah,
no,
so-
go ahead.
So, having this card just come back, letting it bounce Unisons again like it used to back then, because back then I could understand why it was insanely dumb. But next format, really let it have it back and just make it so like Unisons just like they exist but like they have more answers, because that's what they've been doing in the new sets. They're giving a lot more answers to Unisons now.
Yep.
You know, before like you could barely, and Zamasu, some people say like it was ahead of its time because it had a response. It was, I think, one of the only cards that could actually respond to a
Yeah,
Unison.
it was like one of the only 3 cards because like the only
Well-
other cards were like Tyrannical Blow and the
The
Frenzy
Piccolo.
Warrior Piccolo.
Yeah. So just having this card be just uneroded, it's probably not gonna happen. It's just something that was I felt was fun bringing up, because in reality now, in a format where Unisons are just gonna be weaker, what's the problem with just having this card be back to what it used to be? I still think this card's great. My favorite part about this card is that you don't even need the counterplay. The auto is just ridiculous.
Just so everybody knows, Chris is saying this because he bought 4 Somasu the Eliminators before the ban, and he still
No,
forces
I
them
actually
in all
no.
his
I
decks.
bought it
Okay.
when it was eroded.
Okay.
And then I put it on
Chris
my.
didn't buy them.
And
Chris
then
had them
he.
bought for him.
Oh really?
It was a present.
Yeah, and then he wants to now join VSA and change the narrative to get it unbanned. I think I see what you're doing, pal. I think I see your long-term play here. All right, Alex, what are your thoughts on this card?
So I think the card's fine to be uneroded. There's a lot of Unison hate next set. We're getting a Piccolo in green that just says rip a marker for every Z energy I have, so I could fucking just kill your Unison on play. Sin Shenron next set obliterates Unisons with its negging. There's a lot of stuff coming out in the next format that is just Unison hate, so why not just bring this back? If
Yeah.
they want to mess around with it and then build blue-yellow Bardock so that Bardock has answers to Unison, go ahead, go nuts, build blue-yellow Bardock. It's gonna build what's it called? It's gonna build more uniqueness to the format.
What do you think
There's
about
a
the
lot of decks
fact?
that include yellow.
So what do you think about the fact that there's already inherent removal to Unisons? So do you think there should also be like a silver bullet removal to Unisons on top of that? Because like, do you not want? There's some janky decks that are Unison based that I'd also like to see being fun played. Like you know, I don't know,
Like
Red
Cooler,
Vegeta
I guess.
maybe. I don't know. Well, Red Vegeta's really good, but So
Yeah, I
what do
mean,
you
you're
think
not
about that?
wrong. It's fun seeing those decks, but my opinion, at least, going into like just like a unison heavy format, is just
So you're
I've
just
never
gonna
liked
double tap
the
Unison.
lack
Okay.
of unison response or counterplay, and playing the new set and being able to respond really just feels good. Like,
Fair.
because now going to next set, you don't need a unison in your deck. Just look at the Vegito list. Like, you don't need a unison now, and I personally like that more because it was really annoying building a deck, and it's like, oh, I'm not playing a unison. I guess the deck's bad.
Yeah, because the thing is, going into next set, I think the decks that are going to be the best are the decks that don't rely on the unison.
Oh yeah.
I think the decks that need the unisons next set are already just losing decks.
They're gonna have
in
weaknesses.
my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, so you guys did a
Now-
really good job of showing me what the community did. We did a really open-minded
Now,
one.
there was one card that we forgot to put on the list that I completely forgot to mention.
What
that
is
the
it?
community's been crying about that I
What?
don't agree with a hit for, but that's Dark Power Black Massing.
I mean, either. Yeah, but I can
So
see it.
the-
Yeah, BMS. Yeah, that
Yeah,
card.
BMS. A lot of people have been saying, ban BMS, da 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 da, it kills my deck, da da da. It's a 5k with no protection.
Yeah.
The thing does not need hit in my opinion because of that reason.
100% agree. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
Card is fine the way it is.
I can probably see it. Like what? That
What,
what's
like
this fuck?
unique hit?
No, I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. I think it's fine if it gets deleted. If it doesn't, I'll be okay. I don't know.
You'll be
People
happy.
complain about crazy shit. Like people will play a bad deck and then lose and then be like, "Oh, my deck's losing because of this staple card." I'm like, "Yeah, no, you just suck and you're playing a bad deck, bro." Like, you know. So I don't know. But I don't know. That one's weird. I do agree. It's a powerful card. I don't know. Your deck should have an out to a 1-drop 5k like Alex said though. Here, let me hold on. Let me maneuver myself back to the Discord here. So okay, so now that we saw those cards, and that was great, guys. Thank you. That was a lot of good input on. We weren't single-minded. We opened up. We spoke in devil's advocate. Now I want to talk about what I think, and I'm gonna talk about what I think is probably gonna get banned or what I would want to get banned. And I don't want these things to get banned, but I think they might get hit. And first of all is there's a Beerus card coming out that has a loop with Zeno. I think shit like that is gonna get hit. It's just future proofing that makes you just draw a card. Things like
Do you
that.
think Zeno's getting banned? The super combo?
Oh, I'm sorry. So
that's
the
the
unison,
unison. He's
yeah,
talking about
there's
the
a
unison.
unison that gets played.
Oh, okay. So the Zeno unison.
Yeah, there's
You
like a
guys think
Beerus
banned?
comes out for 1 blue, and like he
Yeah.
just draws the card, and then you
So
can.
Chris,
loop.
I don't know if you're aware, but basically with this, so you ramp with the Zeno.
No, I've seen the combo. Like I
Okay,
saw
so-
people, and I mean I can understand that. I don't know if I would necessarily agree, but I can totally see it.
I mean, you can like just draw. I mean, I'll fucking do it if no one's gonna ban it. But I know like blue's not a great spot. I think the bans are basically gonna be that. I can see them hitting launch and U7 Gohan because like those decks where like whether they want to hit the leader or they just want to hit like the launch has the promo that goes like recycles.
Yeah, launch the Pure Hearted, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because in next set, like its whole thing was that when it combos, it's supposed to warp at the end. But technically speaking, with next set, it's gonna combo Z charge, drop, combo
Yeah.
Z charge.
I mean,
drop,
you can
combo,
just
Z
combo
charge,
it
like,
again,
it's just-
right? And
Exactly.
in
playing with the new
red,
Videl coming out,
yeah.
it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, play the Videl 1-drop, recycle it again. So, I don't know. I mean, I think... And I don't think that this makes launch... launch is really good. I really do respect that deck. But I don't think this is something that needs to happen. Same with U7 Gohan. U7 Gohan's not that deep, but, like, that Unison coming out for it is sick. There's also an anniversary card that I think I read that, like, draws one combo. So, like, Gohan's drawing, like, 2 cards, 3 cards per combo if the 1-drop's alive. So, I don't know. I feel like I can see them dealing with those 2 decks and the Zeno card. As far as problematic stuff, I really don't. I don't know. I've never been much of a Banlist guy. I can see Heartfelt the most, though, out of the cards you guys showed me. But I am a huge fan of bringing back things that were banned that could come back. Like, I've always been waiting for, like, the Bardock the Progenitor to come back. It might be a little too fast, but Goten may be a little too good. What?
The yellow swap one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we looked at that card on the ban list. We're like, can this come back? The thing is, me and Chris, we don't know anything about that card, so we just didn't include
It's
it.
insane. So for those of you that also don't know, it's a 1-drop 10k that you take a life, you swing with it, and then you bring it back to hand. You play for free. You play a Gotenks that's also swap 2 for it, 10k. You swing with him. You look at the top 3, and you pick up any card. And it's like, that's why it was crazy, because you get so much pressure early on. It's kind of like a Scion that self-awakens and draws. So it's like stupid. But no, I don't know. I think it'd be okay to bring that back. Maybe not. I don't know. But anything you want to bring back to make older things fun, I think you don't do that on the first set of your block, because you want people to buy shit from your new block. I think they're just gonna ban future-proofing things relevant to this. Also, they're gonna think about this. Are there any cards currently in the format that fuck with Z energy? And I think that some of them are anything that remove combo, like the Bardock Unison. Now, do I think that Bardock Unison is gonna break Z? No. But I think Bandai doesn't trust us. I think Bandai's like, yeah, we're killing Unisons next set, but I don't trust them. Maybe they're too crafty. Dragon Ball Super card game players are too fucking crazy, so fuck it. Let's just take out Bardock, and it might be a future problem. Again, I don't think it's that crazy a card, but I think that their mentality is always like, let's think ahead. What previously, just like Bad Omen, what previously just shit on our new mechanic that we're trying to promote, right? What do you guys have, I guess, from not so much people talking about it, but what do you want banned, if you want anything banned, and what do you think is actually going to get banned? Who's ready first? Who's got...
Real quick, for everyone talking, or for everyone listening, he's not talking about Bad Omen whenever he says the 20.
Oh yeah, what am I... what card am I actually... I'm talking about
Predator.
the 21.
Not Bad Omen, by the way. He's not talking about Bad Omen. It's Violent Predator.
Yes, that's the fucking card name. I'm horrible with card names. Yeah, when I talk about a card, it's like, oh yeah, the big-tittied 21 SR that takes out mono energy. Yeah. That's how I talk. Yeah. Every card sounds the same in this game. Oh, Goku, Limit Surpassed. 21, Ravaging Evil. Like, they all sound the same. I probably just named the 2 cards accidentally, because they all sound the same. But, okay,
I kind of want to fact check that, actually.
Yeah, I bet, I'll fucking name these cards. They name themselves. Alright, so, Chris or Alex, who wants to go first? What do you guys think should get banned, from your point of view, and what do you think is gonna get banned? Which are 2 different questions.
What do I think is gonna get banned?
Yeah, what do you think will get banned?
I think they're gonna answer. I think they're gonna ban Videl, the Miraculous 8. I don't think it should be banned, but I think they will because people are bitching about it.
The one we talked about? The blonde girl?
Yeah,
but she looks
the
blonde.
one drop.
Okay, cool.
People are complaining about it so much. I think it's gonna get hit. I think they're going to hit Trunks Vegeta in some way because it answers almost every deck coming out next set.
Okay.
I do think they're gonna hit Trunks Vegeta in some way. I hope they hit some of the yellow staples. I get annoyed with those cards personally. I have gripes against it myself. I do think Plea is going to get banned. Heartfelt Plea. I hope it doesn't. I want to play with it for one set.
That's a good call, yeah.
In its heyday. And I really hope they don't touch a Bean. That's all.
Oh yeah. All right, and that's it, guys. Thank you guys. I'm just kidding, Chris. What do you got? Do you have any cards?
So,
by the way, guys, for you guys watching at home, no, Chris, I'm taking over. No, for you guys watching, I'm kidding, by the way. We love Chris. He's the little brother version, so we have to bully him. For you guys at home watching, the reason why Alex and you can see us is because Chris hasn't fully gotten promoted yet. And Chris, as of now, is a young invader. He switched to a switching gears. He was a young invader first, but he's switching gears. But he has not yet gotten camera privileges, so he's still
no,
I'm kidding. No, he doesn't have a camera.
Has no camera.
Yeah, he has no camera. I'm sorry. All right, Chris, what do you got?
So yeah, a lot of yellow staples like really bother me too. I think next set, kind of like the Videl thing, I feel like Poutine actually might get hit because people have been crying about that card for like 5 sets. I don't think it should get hit personally, but it might.
Agreed.
Cards. Cooler is a card that also might get hit after enough crying. As for cards I want banned, I mean, I don't like Cooler either. Slug, I think with your on is fine. I don't like Crown. Okay. I've I think one of the strongest mechanics in this game is hand knowledge, because in
Yeah.
this game every card in your hand is power for the most part.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when you get to look at your opponent's hand for like a kill turn, and you can say, "Huh, I have game," it's kind of ridiculous. So that's the reason Freeze Armor Reborn is a really great secret when you actually play it. It's just hard to get, but when you play that card, it's almost a guaranteed win. And as for my wish list, I mean, yeah, I just want Plan back, to be honest. Just have some fun with that card.
Yeah, I agree. You guys turn me around on a lot of those. So if you're watching from home, what do you guys want banned? What do you guys want brought back? What do you guys want errated, limited, whatever? What opinions do you guys have? At the end, those are our real opinions, not the fucking. Don't screen cap the shit and say that I want Gogeta 7 back. Fucking Hell Group, Trevi Bear, whoever's watching this, listen to the motherfucking video. Listen to what we said, because we know y'all come from Yu-Gi-Oh! You hate to see it. If you're watching, what do you want? Comment down below. Go ahead and let's. I like the discussion. The Banlist discussion is always good, but it's always even better having the post-ban discussion. So when that happens, that'd be fun to come back here to look back at how fucking wrong
100%,
we were.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see when that comes back. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and tell us what you want banned, what you want eroded. Let's go.